Our lesson 9 has 4 different grammar points, just like any other lesson, and this 9.1 is irregular preterite. So remember, and just to recap, we have been talking about preterito, which means a form of past is actually simple past. In English, it would be something like I went, I bought, I cut, I cooked, I worked, I studied. In Spanish, we have something like yo estudié, tú estudiaste, yo compré, tú compraste, yo cociné, tú cocinaste, and so on. So as you can hear, we have a pattern to form the irregular, to form the regular preterite. And those patterns are explained in previous lessons. So if you guys don't follow, or if you guys don't remember, please, I suggest you to go back to look at the endings of the preterito, because we're going to need those to keep on going talking about preterito. Now, since I already mentioned we have regular preterito, regular forms, and we have irregular like in any tense, okay? Future, present, past. In this case, we're focusing on the past, and we also have some irregular forms. So the forms that are irregular that we have already talked about are ser and ir. And if you look at this purple square, I'm giving you these two, ser and ir in preterito. They both share the conjugation. So we have yo fui, tú fuiste, él fue, nosotros fuimos, and so on. I hope that you guys remember. If not, as I said, go back and check at those conjugations and make notes, because they're going to be useful. Now, what's the way that we know when we're talking about ser and ir if in the past they share the conjugation? So, for example, in here you have yo fui in here. So far, if I don't look at this, so far I have yo fui. It could be either I was, or it could be either I went. How am I going to know which one it means? Because of what comes next. It says al centro comercial. Yo fui al centro comercial. So I'm giving you a place. So this is not going to be I was the mall, because it wouldn't make any sense, but I went to the mall. Okay, because I'm giving you a place next to that. Now, the next example says, tú fuiste mi mejor amiga. Am I giving you a place in here? No, this is not a place. So this means you were my best friend. Okay, this is not a place. So it's not going to mean you went, but you were. Okay, so these two are preteritos irregulares. But those are not the only ones that are irregular in the past. So we have a few more, and we're going to talk about that now. Okay, so we have in here tener, we have venir, and we have decir. Why are they irregular? Because the stem, if you can look in here, we have tener, and then it changes to tuve or tuv so far for the stem. Okay? So, that stem doesn't even look similar to the verb in here. That's why they are irregular. Okay? Although the endings are going to follow the endings that we already know. That's why it's important for you to check the endings for preterito. Okay? So in here, the stress is on the stem. Okay, the irregularities that we see in the stem. So look in here, and all of those are going to have some changes. Okay, that tener is not going to stay ten like it would be in a regular verb, but instead is going to change and use a u in there. Okay, so from tener we go to tuve, tuviste, tuvo, tuvimos, tuvisteis, tuvieron. So as you can see, This is a way that probably you will have to memorize to know which verbs behave this way in the preterite form. Okay, so yo tuve, which means, what does it mean tener? It means to have. Venir, to come, and decir, to say. So in this case, I'm saying I had, because remember, the focus of this unit is preterito, which means past. I had, you had, she had, we had, and so on. So we have the same in here, a change in the stem. Vine, viniste, vino, and so on. And we have a change over here in decir. Yo dije. This verb means to say. So yo dije, I said. Tú dijiste, you said. Ella dijo, she said. Nosotros dijimos, we said, and so on. Okay, so all of this is going to be in the past. Now, bad news is that those are not the only ones that change. So we have some others, and in here we have a little group, to see a pattern. In here we have the verbs, and I'm going to go one by one. We have poder, to be able to. We have poner, to put. We have saber, to know. Estar, to be. Querer, to want. Hacer, to do. Traer, to bring. And conducir, to drive. So all of these, as I mentioned before, are infinitivos, which means that we're not talking about a specific person. I am only telling you to be able to, but I'm not telling you I am able to or I was able to. So this is the infinitivo. We want to look at the stem in here and the group that it belongs, so I can remember how to use that stem, and then I'm going to conjugate in preterito. So in here, poder, it goes to PUD, and then what is important in here is how I conjugate this in the past. So from poder, I am able to, I go to pude, I was able to. Now, you don't see the pronouns in here, but remember, yo pude, tú pudiste, él or ella pudo, nosotros pudimos, vosotros pudisteis, and ellos and ustedes pudieron. Now, if it's easier for you to take some notes on this, please do, because this is important. Now, this is going to be the same for all the verbs in this group. You can see in here the conjugation. And over here, we go to a different group, which is the I stem. That goes from querer to quise. Quisiste, quiso, quisimos, and so on. So we have querer, that means to want. And then in here, go to the past form. For example, I wanted a cheeseburger. Yo quise una hamburguesa con queso. Hacer, to do. Hice. Yo hice la tarea. I did the homework. Tú hiciste la tarea. You did the homework. Nosotros hicimos la tarea. We did the homework. So this is the way that this is going to go. So pay attention to all these ways to conjugate, because you are going to need this especially for the writing portion of our test. So we have some other irregular forms, and we have the past form of dar, which is to give. So it's going to be yo di, tú diste, ella dio, nosotros dimos, vosotros disteis, ellas dieron. So this is only just another verb that you have to pay attention to. I gave, you gave, she gave, or he gave, and so on. This is for the verb to give, dar. And here we have just a couple of examples. We have Marisa le dio la foto a la señora Díaz. Now pay attention in here. We're using also objeto directo, objeto indirecto. And there's another example here. Hubo una celebración en casa de los Díaz. Where is that hubo coming from? Hubo is coming from here. Is the past of I. Remember, I means either there is or there are. Now in the past form is going to be hubo and is going to mean there was or there were. So if I say hubo una celebración en casa de los Díaz, there was a celebration at the Díaz house. So maybe they had a party, they had a wedding, they had a birthday, but there was a celebration at their house. So these are the main points of Preteritos Irregulares. Please make sure that you look at Preteritos Regulares and that you look at the conjugation of verbs ser and ir together.